This is Alan Smith bringing you another great edition of the Southwest Florida Daily tour of homes and foreclosures down here in Southwest Florida, and that includes the area of Marco Island, Naples, Fort Myers Beach, Sanibel, Captiva, and of course the waterfront living paradise of Cape Coral down here in Southwest Florida. If those are areas that you're looking to either buy or sell in, I'd love to hear from you. Number one brokerage here in Southwest Florida. We have more listings and sell more homes than anybody else down here in Southwest Florida, and my group specializes in representing buyers and finding them the best homes that they possibly could find. Today's video is going to not be about buyers, it's going to be about sellers. I've had several emails over the last week or so from sellers who basically are saying that you know, they're waiting to get their home sold, that sort of thing, down here before they can actually buy something down here in Southwest Florida. So you know, and I've done several videos specifically tailored to sellers over the years. So I'd invite you to go to our Facebook page, which looks like this. And here's our Facebook page. And if you go to the, you want to subscribe, first of all, here's the button to subscribe for. But you can go up here and you can search for any of the past 1,000 or so plus videos that we've done. And a couple of them, if you're a seller, that you may want to look into would be how to sell your home in 30 days, 4 ways to check if you're overpriced, 1031 tax exchanges, or a great one that's simply called the Clash. Those are 4 that you can search, and if you search for them in this bar, they'll come up. I'll also try to include the direct links in my email that goes out to you today. But that gives you a little idea. Please subscribe right here to the YouTube page. That way you'll make sure that you always get a copy, and you always get notification of every home that gets listed, or every broadcast, or the daily tour of homes that goes out every day, that you don't miss any. Well, let's go ahead and start with today's tour, which is going to be 4 reasons your home isn't selling. This is an article just recently done, going out to the area news and out on Trulia and Zillow and a few other great places like that, but it's got a wealth of information. So let's get started talking about it. If you've got a home that you need to sell and you haven't sold it in the next 30 days, you definitely need to go and take a look at my other videos I've done as well. But this one I think is really going to hit home, and I guarantee you that in about 99.9% of the cases, this will solve all your problems. So let's start talking about it. You know, there's only really 4 reasons why your home hasn't sold or it isn't selling. Actually, there's only 3, but I throw in the 4th one just because it makes sellers feel better. You know, there are exceptions to every rule under the sun. So even though the current market climate is hot in most places, and I'm telling you, throughout the country, there's only a few places where I you know, hear about that maybe aren't booming, but even those are doing pretty well. There's no reason why every home in every market shouldn't sell within 60 days period. I could guarantee you that I could drop out of a parachute or out of an airplane and drop into your hometown and get your home sold within 60 days guaranteed. I'm that confident, and this information is going to show you exactly how we can do that for you. You know, there are many times there's homes in certain areas, in certain counties, and certain homes that simply sit on the market for days, weeks, months, or even longer than average. But those are the outliers. You know, and being an outlier in this particular context is not a fun place to be. When all the listings seem to be flying off the market and yours seems to be stuck, it's easy to delve into fear, panic, and even depression. You know, but there's always a glimmer of hope. There's a pretty short list of reasons that most slow-to-sell homes lag on the market, and you've probably heard at least a couple of them before, maybe even from your other real estate agent that you're looking now. But sometimes hearing a few things from a few different people, and especially at the right moment in time, can cause a shift in your position that'll power a shift in the situations that are keeping your home for sale stuck, so to speak of, and your life plan stuck with it. folks, even though your home may be in another state, it may not be in Southwest Florida, if you don't think I can help, you're truly wrong. Give me a call at 239-872-7736. I'm more than happy to analyze your property either on the side or in conjunction with your realtor and do everything I can to get your home sold, because after all, if you're looking to move down here in Southwest Florida and you can't do that until your home sells, it only behooves me to help you, and it's what I do anyway, to get your home sold. So please don't feel free, give me a call. I'll be more than happy to go over it with you. I've been doing this for 20 years and I find that usually within 15 minutes of analyzing your property, I can tell you exactly why it's not selling. Number one, you're stuck on too high of a sales price. If your home has been sitting on the market for significantly longer than average, the market has spoken, and it's saying the price is too high vis-a-vis the current condition of the marketing and the property, period. It's as simple as that. You don't choose the price that your home's going to sell for. I don't choose that price. Your agent doesn't sell that price. The current market and the buyers in that marketplace are what sells, or what picks the price that your home is going to sell for, period. There are only three variables in this equation, which is helpful because it means there are really only three ways to fix this problem. One, you can change the condition of the property by upgrading it so the property is better for the same price. I think of it as like if you go to the car dealership and you're looking at two cars and they're exact same price, but one has the custom wheels and the leather seats and the high-end stereo, which would be the car that you prefer to buy? Well, of course, the ones with all the upgrades. So for the same amount of money, if your home isn't selling, you can upgrade it to bring the value of that home up to the price that you want to get for it, or you can wait until the market conditions change to support a higher price. And in our market, in most of the areas, it's going up. And if it's going up in your area 5 to 7% on a $100,000 home, that's $5,000. So you could be looking at 2 to 3 years wait. Now, if that's not in the cards, you can simply change your list price. And that's about it. There's all there is to it. For most sellers, it's the simplest, most sensible of these three variables is to modify the list price. This is especially so in cases where the home is in good basic condition, it's well staged, it shows well, and the other homes nearby are simply flying off the market. The fact that you don't want to hear that your home is overpriced doesn't mean it's not the truth. You know, today's market is ascending in most areas, which simply means that the prices are on the rise. Some sellers are waiting to list their homes, hoping that prices will be higher in the years to come, which it looks like is going to be the case. But, you know, like normal, you can't always guarantee that. But if you want and you need to sell your home sooner than later, or you're hoping to sell it in time to buy your next home before prices rise much higher, holding out for a higher price really doesn't make much sense. This is especially true right now because as we're seeing, interest rates are up from up to 5% from 3%, and I believe in the next year you're going to be up to 8%. So if you're going to wait for a year to make an extra $10,000 on your home, but then cost you an extra $50,000 in interest rates, really doesn't make much sense. Plus, with those higher interest rates, you're not going to be able to qualify for as much home. So you're always better to sell now in the known market rather than wait for the unknown. You know, in fact, your resistance to making a very necessary price change could backfire on you. You know, 90% of the time, this is what I find with sellers. Buyers often keep their eye on overpriced but otherwise nice homes. They wait until they suspect a seller's desperation will make them more receptive to a lowball offer. Folks, I'm seeing this all the time, especially with those who say, oh, I want to leave enough in there for wiggle room because I know a buyer's not going to choose my full asking price, and in doing so their home stays on the market an extra 30, 60, 90 days, which costs them well more than the few $1,000s they're trying to make by leaving extra wiggle room or keeping their price higher. But we'll get into that a little later. Number two, your home is not fully exposed to the market. Now, this is simply could be the case. I find it's more often than not, but so the truth of the market has spoken on the matter of overpricing does have one caveat. It assumes that the market has actually been exposed to your home. If your home's marketing plan has been limited to that red and black for sale sign that you got at the hardware store and you stuck in the lawn, chances are good that your home is lagging because your area's community of buyers and brokers have no idea that the home is on the market. Now, that's specifically true for sale by owners. However, I often find it true for about 80% of the homes listed on the market, as most agents simply do the 3 Ps. They place a sign in the front yard, they place the home in the MLS, and they pray. That's the 3 Ps. We do a ton of marketing, But if you're, and you can go ahead and look at our Facebook page and get an idea of the marketing that we do that guarantees that 100% of our homes sell. So marketing could be the case of why your home isn't sold. However, I usually find that that is the least common cause why homes don't sell. Other common conditions of home sale preventing underexposure do include homes that are not listed in the area's multiple listing service or the MLS. This would include discount brokers, fee-for-service, things along those lines, for sale by owners. But down here in our area, we have several different MLSs that most people don't understand. We have a Cape Coral MLS, we have a Fort Myers MLS, we have a Naples MLS, we have an all-area MLS that goes to Tampa and those sorts of things. So depending on your area, you may want to know exactly how many MLSs you have. When sellers list with us, they get in multiple listing MLSs that cover from Marco Island all the way to Orlando. And I don't know another agent that puts their homes in as many MLSs as we do. Homes that are not listed on major real estate search engines like Truly and Zillow, or that have their own websites, 90% of buyers start searching online. So those things are very important. Even though if you're a buyer and you're searching on Truly and Zillow, their valuations are off about 34%, which really give buyers an inaccurate underestimation of the home's truly values. However, it does get the picture out there of your home if you're a seller, and it does cause more activity. Homes that are very difficult to show or are rarely made available for viewing. Things like not having super lock boxes on it so that agents can see easily, requiring special times for pets, or one of the biggest that we see because we deal with so many buyers are owners or agents or their agents available during their showings. Folks, it is the number one worst thing you can do is be there yourself or have your agent there, and I don't care what the reasoning is. It makes buyers uncomfortable. They can't move into your home. They don't want to spend any time there, and they feel that they're inconvenience you. They will simply rush in and rush out as fast as they can. I have seen this hundreds of times, and then my clients get back in the car, and every time they comment about how uncomfortable they are. If you're having your agent, or if your agent is somehow convinced that they're sold you on listing with them because they're going to be at every listing presentation, that's a sales pitch to get your listing. It certainly is not an advantage for you to actually get your home sold. And then there's homes that are listed online with no, few, or poor quality photos, videos, YouTubes and other media, and they don't use professional photos or professional virtual tours and professional videos like we do. We find that's indispensable to get your home sold. And homes that are listed, without being on all the other different types of media that we use, like YouTube and Twitter and Trulia and all these different kinds of media. There's really a vast array of media out there now that can be used. How about posting your home every day on Craigslist for those people that are looking on there? Yep, that's one of the things that we do for every one of our listings, but it's why our listings sell 100% of the time. If your home is lagging on the market at any of the above apply to your listing, they could be the culprit. If you choose a listing agent who has a strong track record of selling homes, these sorts of listing issues can sometimes reflect a glitch in the system. So do a double check. Google your address and see how your home is represented online. If you find any of these issues, work with your agent and get them fixed. Call to make your own showing appointment like you're an agent. Call to make an inquiry, and use a different phone than yours so it doesn't come up on their cell phone or their office phone on who their client is that's calling. Try to do it on the side. Do some research, and you'll find out how hard it is maybe to make a showing appointment for your home, or if other agents aren't finding that it's an easy process, or if you've got a difficult agent they just don't want to work with. If you didn't engage a listing agent at all and your home is simply not moving, like you're on a for sale by owner program or you're on a pay for fee to get your home in the MLS, it may be time to reconsider doing a course changing correction because your home's simply not selling. Your home could have a glaring issue that needs resolving. Many times a big condition issue can cause a home to sit on the market unless and until the seller either 1, fixes the issue, or 2, offers a credit or an incentive to offset the issue, or C, reduces the price so low that a buyer thinks the bargain is worth the hassle, and that's what usually happens, which again goes back to fixing your conditions or lowering your price to reflect what is accurately the buyers want to pay for it in the particular market. Some situations are far too costly for a seller to fix, like foundational problems or pool rebuilding or putting on new roofs, or other non-fixable things like, you got a nuclear power plant next door, or electrical, or a school across the street. In these situations, reducing the price is often the only resolution. But then there's other listings that are sabotaged by highly fixable issues the seller simply may not be willing to admit are at the root of their problem. You might love the highlighter yellow you chose to paint your home, the interior walls, or the wall-to-wall powder blue sculpted carpet, or the rustic look of that weathered paint, fences, and the trim on the exterior. Or maybe you just, you love them, but you think buyers should look past those issues. Sometimes your home's slowness to move is a wake-up call, folks. The average buyer's taste might simply differ from yours, or maybe in your area, the price range, buyers don't have to look past issues to find a home that is ready to move in. To concern yourself about what buyers should be willing to do is to live simply in a fantasy world. But you think buyers should just look past those issues? They simply don't. And as long as you're there, your home won't move in real life. Folks, I'm simply telling you, the fact that you love all the storage, or you love the color, or you think that buyers should overlook certain things simply isn't reality. I work with buyers every day, and I know exactly what they say and what they see and what the actual realities are. Or the fourth common thing, they're people that just aren't simply ready to move. If none of your agent's advice on how to shift your home's fate makes any sense to you, if everything on this list strikes you as simply outrageous, or even if your friends and family members' urgings to cut the list price makes you think that the whole world must be crazy, ask yourself this question: are you really truly ready to sell and move on? Believe it or not, a lot of sellers aren't. It's not all that bizarre for home sellers who are deeply attached to a long-time family home or somewhat fearful about the next phase of their lives to make decisions around their home's listing that keep it from selling. I once showed a house where there were people still sleeping in beds that were, listen to this, bizarrely sitting in the living room while the listing agent walked my buyer and I through the place. Two major things, right? Conditions, weirdness, conditions with the living room, and having the listing agent there to walk my buyers through the case. Needless to say, my buyers ran from that home. If you find yourself in a situation where your head is telling you that cutting the price is the right thing to do, but your heart makes you do everything possible to keep the home from being shown, consider whether or not you're truly ready to move on. If you ultimately decide that you want or need to sell your home and move on, but are anxious or fearful for whatever reason, don't take your fear on your listing. Notice where your decisions and your behavior might be sabotaging the higher purpose of getting your home sold, and then manage your own mindset so that you can get out of the way of your own progress. In my experience, sellers really need to take a hard look at the net bottom line, as often many of the things that they think they're doing to actually make them more money are really actually costing them thousands. More on that in a minute, and you'll see my point. Most of the time when you're selling your home is not your friend for a variety of reasons. In the past 10 years, we have sold 100% of the homes we have marketed at top market value and then sold them under the MLS board's average time frame where other realtors are selling. Why? It's simply simple. We follow these procedures when we list, market, and sell homes. Usually within 30 days, I specialize in homes that other agents don't or can't sell. The hardest, so to speak, the hardest of the hard homes, the homes that aren't selling with other agents. In doing so, I've become simply an expert at analyzing and determining why some homes aren't selling, and 99% of the time I can tell you, usually in less than 15 minutes, why a home is not selling. There are a variety of reasons, most of which we've just gone over, but I'm going to review them really quick with you again, plus offer the most honest, up-to-date, and accurate advice for you to take to get your home sold in the next 30 days. There's only a variety of reasons which we've gone over. Some are bigger than others, but in 20 plus years I've learned that there's only four, that causes a home not to sell for top market value in 30 days. You have to have two of the three to sell. You can miss one of these, but if you don't have at least two, your home's going to sit on the market and never sell. One, price. We've already gone over that. Two, conditions, meaning not only the obvious conditions of the home, but also the conditions of the sale. the showing requirements, if you've making buyers and their agents jump through hoops, especially down here, because most people down here on vacation, they've only got a limited time to show. Agents are very busy. They're not going to jump through homes and on your time frame, on your deal, to look at your home. The conditions set by the seller or even the realtor, like having to have keys in the realtor's office that you got to pick up and deliver. The things like, you can only show on Tuesdays of the third moon of the fourth rise of the sun because you have a dog or kids that have to go to school, or I've heard every reason in the book why showing appointments can't be held. Folks, if you want to sell your home in the next 30 to 60 days, you're going to have to, back up a little bit, put yourself in the buyer's shoes, and do whatever it takes to get it sold. It'll only be for 30 days. If you're already planning for this thing to be a long-term deal where you're going to have to inconvenience yourself for 6 months, there's a problem with that thinking, and you're already sabotaging it up front. If you do everything right the first time, there's no reason why your home shouldn't sell within 30 days. Marketing, which we've touched on, and really most sellers don't really have much to do with the marketing, but the agent you choose especially does, which is why it's so important to choose an agent like us to do the most marketing of any agent in your marketplace. And number 4, the agent co-broke fee. Boy, do I see this one. And let's talk about this one. This is a big one. What is an agent co-broke fee? Most people don't think about it. They say, well, I list my home at 6% or 5%, and that's what I'm paying. And if I pay more than that, I'm costing myself money. Well, that's a wrong way of looking at it, and it's going to end up costing you thousands in the end, and we're going to talk about that right now. The co-broke fee is the fee that your listing agent takes out of his fee, that 6%, to offer to a buyer's agent to bring their buyer to your home versus going to their listings or to their others. There's really this is the number 2 reason I put it here as last, as most sellers don't want to admit it. But the object of your agent offering part of their fee to another realtor to bring them a buyer, since they don't really have a buyer themselves, is that you got to look at it nothing more as a bribe for the other agent, a buyer's agent, to bring their buyer to your home and sell your home versus one of those listings that maybe that buyer's agent has themselves, or one of the other 20-some thousand listings in the marketplace. Put honestly and frankly, selling for sale by owner, using a discount broker or a pay-to-list MLS service is one of the biggest ones. But if your realtor is offering a reduced fee to a buyer's agent to bring a buyer, say that you're listed at 6, but they're only offering 2 or 2.5%, or even 3%. My market analysis and extensive research have proven time and time again that doing so will result in an average 270% longer time on market and will cost you an average of 17% reduction in the actual sale price that you sell your home for. So to save 1 or 2% of the seller's, save 1 or 2% of your listing fee, it's going to cost you thousands of more dollars in interest, taxes, insurance, maintenance costs, yard, plus to mention the cost of you not getting where you want to go and to do what you want to do. Look through this example that I have for you right here. This is a $300,000 home. These are the just estimated holding costs of what it's going to hold, a cost of $2,100 a month. A 30-day sale costs this particular seller $2,100 versus somebody 270 days, $12,600. If they were to sell at 97% of market price, which is what my sellers get, that guy makes $291,000 versus 84% of $252,000. So if you have issues, you're overpriced, maybe you're listed at 5%, you're at 6%, instead of doing what I always suggest, I don't know what it's costing you. I don't know about you, but I prefer to sell in 30 days and save $43,525. My advice, always list your home at 7% or more and offer the buyer's agent a 4% or a 5% co-broke fee. Why? Doing so is going to do a couple different things. One, it builds realtor excitement by not only your realtor, but also every buyer's agent in town who do have buyers to bring them to your home and sell it. 2, instead of being against you in the sale, your buyer's agent will help you sell your home to their buyer and will negotiate and work for it in your favor as opposed to the buyer. The buyer's agent becomes an asset instead of a liability, and your home will sell much faster as numbers have proven 270% and for more money 17%. Let me ask you, would you give me a $3,000 check today if I returned a $43,500 check to you tomorrow? I think you would. It really is that simple and how it really works 100% of the time. You know, you can miss one of those three things and your home will most likely still sell. But if you miss two, and you're likely to stay on the market a long time and then sell for much less, costing you way more than you think, net bottom line. Well, this is Alan Smith, and I'm wishing you a warm, sunny Southwest Florida day. I hope I've been a help to you. Give me a call at 239-872-7736 if you have any questions about selling a home or buying a home down here in Southwest Florida. I'd be more than happy to work with you and guarantee that you get the home of your dreams either purchased or sold in record time. Bye-bye now.